What is going on, guys? We are back with another episode of our Pokemon TCG Pocket, and in today's episode, guys, we're going to be actually looking at a very aggressive Arceus deck. This one is probably one of the more direct Arceus aggro decks of the bunch, right? The rest of them, Arceus is kind of a support Pokemon for other Pokemon, and then kind of a late game finisher when you need it. This Arceus, this is your focus. This is what you're trying to attack with. You're trying to fill the bench. This is basically a higher HP Pikachu that has the potential to do 130 damage every single turn. You're trying to get it online very quickly, and you have kind of support option, right? So the big thing is that you can't get affected by status conditions. So you're not affected by sleep. You're not affected by paralysis, anything like that. So nothing can really stop you. And then ultimate force, again, 70, and then you have 3 additional options to be able to do 20 more damage, doing 130. So for this deck, we're actually rocking out with 2 Dialgas. Dialga has the ability for 2 Steel Energy to start putting on 2 energy onto another Pokemon. This is usually powered. This is usually to power Arceus, and potentially a second Dialga on the back that can start attacking 100. We have 1 Mew EX. Mew EX is here to kind of beat bigger things that can do more damage than Arceus could. Also, by being a Psychic type, it technically can do super effective damage against fighting types, for example, which Arceus is weak to. So there's that going for it. And then we have 1 utility Shaman. Shaman gives us a little bit more healing and another Pokemon on the bench. We have 2 potions, we have 2 capes, and we have that all for healing ability. So I basically have 5 outlets that give me either more HP or heal me for a little bit of health. This is all because you're running a fully EX lineup and you don't want to be just giving points away for free. Then these very standard of 2 Pokeballs, 2 Professor's Research, and 1 of Cyrus / Sabrina. We're actually running one of this deck. Is sort of kind of your utility cards, right? You're drawing your basic Pokemon. Every card in here is a basic. So Pokemon Communication didn't really feel as necessary, although, you certainly could throw it in for sure. 1 Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet just gives you an additional way to maybe do damage if Dialga is happening a little slowly. And then we're rocking out with 1 Giovanni that allows Arceus to hit 140, which allows you to knock out opposing Arceus. And sometimes Mew is a little bit short on some things, right? Like some Pokemon attack for just slightly less than what they do, and so the Giovanni can be helpful. 2 Leafs because Dialga and Arceus are both 2 retreat costs, and that's sort of kind of the focus of this deck. Now, this deck has been pretty good and pretty consistent in competitive tournaments so far to date. Now I think that it's a little bit risky to be kind of playing full EXs like that, but it's a deck that I wanted to showcase to you guys because it is a very powerful deck. So what we're gonna do is get a couple of games in and see how things go. We have game number 1 versus Dive 89, and let's see what we can do. So the whole focus of this deck is Dialga leads, right? When you don't have Dialga leads, tough game. I'm not gonna lie to you, it can be a really tough game when you don't have it. I am going to play 1 of the Arceus in the front, but I'm also gonna play 1 Shaman on the bench, and that's gonna give me a little bit of longevity. It looks like we're playing a Darkrai deck. This could be Darkrai Weavile, this could be Darkrai Magnezone, which we've seen in the past. I am gonna just throw a cape right onto Arceus right away though, and then what I'm also gonna do is we're going to just stall out on this Pokeball. I don't need to play it right away. I still need a lot of basics, so I'm still willing to kind of keep everything kind of under wrap here. My opponent at this point probably suspects the Steel Energy to be a Dialga deck, but you never know, right? Like, I mean, there is a Magnezone alternative to this, the Steel-type Magnezone, or even the Electric-type Magnezone that can do different things. So there's plenty of options here. So they're gonna just front a Dialga here, front a Darkrai here, sorry. So I am just going to Fragrant Flower Garden and heal this up a little bit. And then from here, we'll just wrap up our turn. We'll call it a day. Because I do think that... Oh yeah, this is a Sneasel build. Okay, so I'm perfectly fine with this. Because at the moment, I can still heal 30 damage. Basically, no problem. If my opponent... Okay, so there is a Dialga here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this. I'm going to put my energy onto this Dialga. I'm going to heal up just that little bit. And then I'm going to leaf into Dialga and kind of just retreat out. This is maybe a little slower, but Arceus being fully ready to go is sort of kind of what I'm trying to accomplish here. And I could even put a cape on this if I wanted to. And I think I might, so that we have a little bit more HP kind of kicking around everywhere. And then I have this Pokeball in hand that I can guarantee another basic Pokemon when I need the damage on Arceus itself. And in the meantime, I'm actually kind of willing to just kind of have whatever's chilling here. So here's a Weavile. There's no damage on myself right now, so that's fine. I think this is a little slow though, honestly, because like, what are you gonna do here? At the moment, sure, right? Like, you can do this chip damage here, and that's fine. I think you can only do 90 damage at the moment, though. Sorry, you'll be able to do like 100. But Weavile, let's do 70. Honestly, I don't think there's much of a reason to be... let me see, what's the best play here? I'm gonna stick it on this Dialga, and that's gonna let me put the energy onto it right away. And I'm actually good with the potion. There's nothing that they can do immediately that's going to knock out this Arceus. The max they'll be able to do is 100. And this is actually the less offensive option of the two. The Scratching Nails does 70, which is fine. Okay. Then I get to go out here. Pull back. You might have a second Cyrus. That is a possibility. If they do have the second Cyrus... technically the potion doesn't keep them out of range, so I don't really need to do anything super aggressive, but I will put myself in a position that I can have the energy attached and be a threat, at least offensively, that will make them want to pull me back in. I could have actually set up a second Dialga too. But if I get the extra turn of healing here, I'll go up to 80, I'll go back to 100 with the potion, and then I'm one turn away from actually being able to just run through. It'd be really nice if I could find a Giovanni here too, because that would be really nice. But from here at the moment... Yep, Scratching Nails for 70 here. Okay, we can Sabrina as well. I am down to do that, but I'm also looking... I think here I'm going to do Pokeball. We get Mew out of it. Mew is definitely not being played in this one, so I guess we're gonna go with the second Dialga. And we're gonna get that online as well. I am gonna potion this Dialga right now, though. It's gonna be back up to 110, which does keep me out of range. And I will Metallic Turbo here. I didn't stick an energy on anything, so I'm just throwing. I'm just actively throwing, and that's fine. You know, sticking an energy on something would have been really good that turn. I literally couldn't tell you why I didn't. So mistakes are being made, but it's okay. We might actually still win this despite all of that. Yeah, a little painful. So I think what I'm gonna have to do to kind of save myself the embarrassment of all of this, 90, yeah, you can lose 70. I'm gonna be letting this Dialga go down. And I have a second Arceus. Yeah, you'll be able to do 100 though. So I'm still a little short. I'm gonna stick the energy onto the next Dialga. And just Metallic. This is going to enable... I guess I'll enable this Dialga to be fully set up. But yeah, I'm basically giving this up, and then I'll be able to do 100, and then switch out when I need to do more damage. I can pull the other... Darkrai if they don't put anything else out. Okay, you're gonna Sabrina. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Kind of. But I guess I'll put this one out. I mean, it's still going to take a ton of damage. It is what it is, but I can stick the energy onto Dialga or Arceus whenever I need. And there is another Sneasel that comes out. Okay. So in this situation, we're just going to knock out the Weavile, get our point. Heal 70. This Arceus is now at least fully set up. And let's just play the research now while we have the opportunity to. And I do want to play this Pokeball so that I get the last Arceus in my hand. Didn't even see it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna Rocky Helmet this. So that they have to attack and do some type of damage. We will have the impact for 100, and we'll actually get the first 2 points out of this. I don't think that they're going to be playing... They've already shown a Cyrus and a Sabrina. I don't know if they're going to play 2 of each. That seems a little aggressive. But there is a Weavile. Ape here to do 160. Okay. So they'll pick up a KO here. They'll do 140. Top decking Giovanni would be genuinely incredible here. And this is sort of kind of what you have Giovanni for, honestly. So I need to top deck it. And my best play is gonna be Arceus. And I do top deck the Giovanni, which is absolutely incredible. I am going to heal up just in case something goes amiss, but I don't think it will. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the 1 energy onto Mew. We're going to Giovanni. And I'm showboating a little bit here now, but the 140 damage does knock out this Darkrai, and that is GG's to my opponent. Yeah, I'm an energy short on this entire game because I didn't play the energy. So that does kind of showcase just that, like, even I went first, so I lost an energy to start this game anyways. I was down 2 energy. And when you get Dialga going, you can really do some damage. And I wasn't even fully optimal with this one today. So, yeah. So let's get into another game. Let's see what we can do. And I think for the next couple episodes, there's going to be decks where we're going to play multiple different decks in the same video, just because they're kind of the similar style. And then other decks will do like this, where it's just a couple games of the same deck. You guys can really see and showcase, you know, kind of what the goal is of these decks. So, okay, so we're going first again against another dark deck. This one is an obvious Dialga lead, though. I'm going to play the Shaman, and I'm going to play the Arceus. There's no reason not to. I get 10 free healing every turn, and I can start building up this Dialga, and I don't think there's really anything in the Dark archetype that, you know, can really threaten Dialga, even in 2 turns, really. So, I think we're fine, and it's actually a Baneri deck. Okay, so this is going to be a Lopunny, and they're going to try to kick a bunch. So, that's fine for me. We'll just end our turn. The only thing that sucks a little bit, though, is that they're going to do the 10 damage, and then they're going to start kicking, and kicking is going to be a little annoying. They might just target the Shaman first, although I can kind of slow the process down on it, but I'll be able to start hitting you hard enough by that point. Ooh, it's a Scolipede deck. Okay. So I think we're basically fine here. There's nothing really to go for, so let's just end our turn. I might want to try to be aggressive, though, and attack the Scolipede right away for the Scroopy, because I can Sabrina. Baneri is less of a threat than this will be at the end. Okay, Professor's Research. The nice part is that Arceus can't get poisoned. Okay, there's that jump kick. 20 and 20 to a bench Pokemon. So I think they're going to target Shaman here. I think that's probably... yeah. I'm going to target Shaman. So what we're going to do is we're just going to Fragment. I'm just going to get the energy on this. I'm going to Metallic Turbo. We're gonna get this Arceus set up, and then we'll be pretty much ready to go. I'll be able to switch and do 130 if I need to. And I think I'm actually going to try to do that right away. Actually, they said no the Krogunk, so they can't do it as prominently. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we are gonna be aggressive. We're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna heal up. This does KO anything, so I don't really need to show my Mew just yet. And I'm gonna just put the Rocky Helmet on this, because it is available. And there's no reason to really go for anything else, so let's just Ultimate Force here. This knocks out the Lopunny, gives us our first point. If my opponent ends up playing a Toxicroak, and they can't poison me, which is nice. And if they go to Drapion, they're looking to do, like, 40, 80, 120. They can potentially do 160, but they have to hit all of it. So I'm forcing a pretty high roll. I'm kind of going for a 50-50. They get 3 to 4. So they're going to do 120. But they're going to get Rocky Helmet damage. And at this point, we're pretty well good here. I can just put the Dialga on. We can heal up. I don't need to even worry about any of this. Just heal up. No reason to pull anything. We just Ultimate Force knock out the Drapion. And we're good. I don't have to risk a Mew. And we get our second point. Now they can very easily tie this back up. There's no reason they can't. But Weavile is not going to be able to just run through a Dialga very easily. Especially if I'm healing next turn. Yep, we're scratching nails for 70. You're going to take 20 damage though. And then I can actually come back with Mew in the back if I want to now. And I'm actually going to be fairly okay. I would like to have something to power up. But this gets me back to full so that this Weavile actually doesn't do very much damage at all. We're going to do this. We're going to just set up the Mew just so we have it. And at this point, just Metallic Turbo. And start setting up that Mew. So we're in a pretty good spot here now. Even if my opponent Cyrus is, I can go out to, or they can't Cyrus, but they can Sabrina. I can go to Mew. Mew will survive a hit. And we'll still be okay. Yep, 30 here. So very, very little damage. I can actually keep the damage off completely, basically, as well. So let's get this third energy here. And I'm actually just going to make sure that you can't do much. So we're going to do this. Do this. Get to 170 so that you're weakened again. And we'll be more than set up here. Metallic Turbo once again. And we can target this Dialga. And we're just slow playing here. We're just slow playing. I can now retreat and knock out Weavile in one hit as well. Next turn. Do they recognize that? I don't know. They don't seem to. I guess maybe people don't expect Giovanni, so I guess that's fair. But we're gonna go to Mew. We're gonna put the energy onto, and my opponent concedes. So yeah, so GG's to my opponent. Yeah, 2 games against dark decks, and these dark decks are not handling this deck well right now. We just have a little bit too much HP for Weavile. Like, Weavile needs to be aggressive early. You know, having that poison combination I think is really cool. But I do think that maybe there's a better option. Maybe there's a better option than Scolipede, but you never know. Anyways, I think that's gonna show off this deck pretty well anyways. So yeah, so this is a deck once again. Again, one Shaman gives you a little bit more consistent healing. You saw it, it kept things, it kept the HPs a little bit higher, and it kind of let very, very bulky HP Pokemon kind of survive a lot of hits. We rocked out with a Mew. We didn't get to see the Mew, but the Mew was actually gonna knock out that Weavile, you know, coming in. The 2 Dialgas, the 2 Arceus are your main kind of plan. A lot of healing. Capes kind of act as like a second potion, and so you kind of get like 4 potions out of this deck, as well as having just a Shaman that every second turn is another potion that lasts the whole game. So it's very, very fun. It's a very, very good deck. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the deck in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys the next.